Greetings and welcome to Shadowstar. I'm glad you could join us. I am the Renegade Richard, and this is Star Trek Online Klingon ship review video, where for this specific review we shall be taking a look at this ship's stats, potentials, her trait, unique console, and discuss the performance capabilities of this ship's, the uses you can find for her, as well as for those of you brave enough to come aboard. We shall go into battle to prove her potential. Now, before we begin, I must thank the Honourable House of Negus for their donation to the cause of Shadowstar. You have done our house great service today. Your donation of £50 has made this video possible, along with the following, visual reviews and the past visual reviews that the Federation have been doing. Do not worry, we are stronger, and we shall prove it today. Again, I owe you a debt of gratitude, Negus. And with that being said, allow me to formally welcome honorable houses of the Klingon Empire, great Dahar Masters, captains of the KDF, pirates that serve with us, and all of you in between. Those with loyalty to the KDF be rewarded, as today we look at a great ship with an antique lineage. However, she has been rebuilt and recasted to show our modern glory in such an ancient design. A design from the period when the Klingon Empire saw the light of Kalis and truly found our strength. Allow me to introduce the Core Miracle Worker Battle Cruiser. Well, I say miracle worker. Our Corps of Engineers have worked miracles with this fine vessel. Though she completely sings a harmonic song to her ancient design with very little structural change, she is all modern, with the finest of equipment to give her true potential in battle. It will be easy for our enemies to underestimate this vessel on sight, at least until they're used to it. Give them a couple of years or so, they can be slow to catch up. Well, with that being said, shall we move forwards? Helm, perform impulse burst. Just bring the ship out of dock, would ya? So, now we can get a better view of this fine ship. Fairly large, slender design, full of combat potential. It is safe to say that this vessel will spread fear into our enemies. She is a tier 6 ranked vessel with leveling unlocks. So as a result, this ship is available to you from as early as Lieutenant. That's right, those of you at the back there looking towards what your potential future command could be should you go up the ranks. Do not worry about having to wait for so long. I'm sure if you get in good standing with one of your houses, you will be able to get at least to command this vessel, or maybe the recent bird of prey. Not sure we really want everyone flying one of these though. She has a fine amount of potential to her, Wouldn't want an entire battalion of them, but maybe you do. With her being a battle cruiser type, her hull is at level 50, 43,125. An impressive hull to say the least, or not so impressive. For battle cruisers, she stands as an average level. At level 65, she reaches her pinnacle of 56,250. True warriors aren't put off by pink. Shut up. Her hull modifier is 1.25. About what you would expect from one of our Klingon battle cruisers, I guess. She has plenty of combat potential, so do not worry though with that hull. Her shield might be slightly more of a concern with a modifier of 0.95. But those of you who have an excellent scientific team and engineering team will find that that shield power will not be too much to worry about. Besides, she's plenty fast enough. She has a turn rate of 7.5, average for a battle cruiser, slightly low perhaps, but she does make up for it with an impulse modifier and inertias. Well, so I would say, but I hear we are slightly inferior to this Gargarin that's been released by the Federation. I'm not so sure. Our impulse modifier is 0.15, an inertia rating of 50. We can truly fight with the best of them and keep our enemies in our forward arc. Do not worry about that. This ship has a bonus power of plus 15 to her weapons power systems, plus 5 to her shield power systems, and plus 10 to her engine power systems. Need not worry too much about core efficiency, I see. An overall bonus power of 30 is well spread out. This ship is also capable of arming with dual cannons, so those of you who love your cannons and burst fire know that this ship will do well with that. Perhaps you want the bird of prey as well, for she will give you a useful console that would work with your cannons, but that's another story. This ship is armed with 5 on the forward arc and 3 on the aft arc. So her weapon potential is quite forward biased, quite where you'd expect it to be, about average for battle cruisers. Shame some of these escorts these days have an advantage on us, but well, not always an advantage when you can arm yourself with a kinetic cutting beam and 2 variations of the same energy type. Tetrion, Antiproton, Phaser or Disruptor. You've got your choices. Personally, I prefer the old favourite of Disruptor. Her device slots are free, allowing for plenty of additional support. Red mag capacitor, batteries, an extra combat wing. Perhaps you want some fighters. I hear those Riemann Scorpion fighters come in handy. I prefer the Tadurk myself. This ship definitely has combat potential in her. From her stats so far, we can see that she is average for a hull, somewhat weak on shield, average maneuverability, and good firepower. Her bridge officer standings are as such. Now, we all know for a start she's going to have a commander engineering. It's obvious. Maybe too obvious. I have yet to understand why the Corps of Engineers, which I'm embarrassingly associated with, does not consider putting a position for a commander tactical on a battle cruiser. But what do I know, huh? With a commander engineering, this is also a miracle worker position, allowing for this ship to have some surprisingly good regenerative support or additional damage output. That's right, you can use this position to actually increase your damage output, making this ship one hell of a fighter. Don't know what I'm talking about? You might want to look at miracle worker abilities again, Patak. But with that being said, onto her tactical bridge officer positions, and gracefully we've been given a lieutenant commander tactical, so we at least have that firepower. And then, well, quite happily, we have a lieutenant tactical miracle worker position. More tactical positions or more miracle worker for more regen, if you don't want the firepower and you'd rather just stay alive in the fight. Tanks. Well, what am I saying? Not necessarily only tanks will be using that, but if you turn that tactical station into a miracle worker station, do not worry, for we have a lieutenant commander universal station to use as further tactical if required. That's right, you could have 2 lieutenant commander tacticals if you wanted, and have that lieutenant tactical station as a pure miracle worker. Because that doesn't give you even more firepower. This ship has true DPS potential. Do not underestimate her power in battle. However, she lacks gracefully in the science division, and there is honor to be found among scientists, so it is a shame that she would lack this. But she has only an ensign for her science bridge officer position. Perhaps the Universal will be better acquainted to science. But falling short in one division does not necessarily make her weak in all. Certainly, you can still roll support if you are a supportive commander or captain. I hear there's a couple of Dahar Masters back there that are supportive. If you're wishing to be supportive, do not worry. Thanks to the miracle worker positions, you will be able to at least be a healer on the battlefield, or even assist in drain. Perhaps some control expertise can be found from miracle worker, but I find science to be more useful. So perhaps you could go lieutenant commander universal position as another science and increase there. Your console positions will support you with this. So, she's quite well rounded, as most miracle worker ships do seem to be. She has 5 engineering consoles, 3 tactical consoles, and 2 science consoles. But again, scientists back there, do not worry. Like I said, you will find honor with this ship. She has a universal console position, meaning you can increase science up to 3, engineering up to 6 tanks, and tactical, you can increase yourselves to 4. Well, with this being said, she really does have power. That's right. She is an above average DPS vessel. Average support capabilities, and a powerful tank when built correctly. Though her hull might be average, she can increase her hull strength up and become a powerful hull tank. Shield tank, maybe not. Support roles, she'll be a great healer or drainer. And DPSs, go for your cannons, your beams, your broadsides, your forward attack arc. Know that you will destroy your enemy with ease. This ship also comes equipped with the latest generation of battle cloak, allowing you to ambush your foe, get that surprise attack in and take down their wings, leaving only their flagship on its own. We know for a start Federation flagships last very little on their own without their pitiful escorts. I mean, come on. We all know during the Dominion War, a Galaxy class went down in mere seconds, where their escorts survived much longer. How pathetic are the Federation designs. We also have an interesting advanced piece of equipment on this ship. For those of you traveling by sector space, the cylindrical quantum slipstream drive will give you, well, what can I say? You will have the great benefit of an increased warp speed for 30 seconds. This quantum slipstream drive will also last for, well, the cylindrical, I do believe, lasts for slightly longer and maybe slightly faster. It is also more readily available. It's not bad if I do say so myself. However, there is only one last thing I need to bring up on this ship before we take a look at her trait. And of course, her console. This ship has an Admiralty stat of 50 engineering, 43 tactical, and 15 science. How many of you are disappointed with that? Don't worry, I am as well. I would have hoped tactical science could be a little higher. I expected the engineering, but, well, perhaps there are some things they couldn't get out of the ship from its antique design. Oh well. At least we have things to look forward to. We'll start off. We will start off with her trait. The energy linked torpedo, or the links energy and torpedo firing modes together. So this is specifically handy to DPS support players, but also comes in handy for DPSs and tanks as well. This specific trait will allow you, whenever activating torpedo spread, to also apply beam fire at will 1 and scatter volley 1 to yourself. And should you activate scatter volley or fire at will of any kind, this will activate torpedo spread 1. Now, those of you who don't know, the reason I say this is great for support DPSs is because support DPSs like myself naturally are targeting the one most powerful ship, and our buffs are there to assist with that. So we will likely only have torpedo overload or high yield and beam overload, cannon rapid fire. This leaves us vulnerable to fighting large numbers. Now, thanks to this, we could say have beam fire at will, and we can now use torpedo spread as well, and keep our high yield torpedo for when we're hitting hard. Or maybe we can have our beam overload and have torpedo spread. Personally, that will be my forward one, since that will also give me a weak fire at will to use on large numbers of fighters trying to stop me, or my allies. Certainly, it will come in handy and give this ship great performance, as well as any other ship you may take this trait to. I can think of a few ships that will greatly benefit from this. A Pacific Gorn variety of multi-mission, for example, is a powerful trait, and I definitely score it as an easy 8 out of 10 among Klingon ships. On to another one. The Refracting Energy Shunt is a unique and powerful console, giving your ship, well, an additional bit of output. And not in a bad way. With plus 15.2 to the power transfer rate, this is very useful to ships. All ships will make benefit of a good power transfer rate. As you can see, I specifically aim for quite a high rate myself. Unfortunately, this one does not quite have the increased rate I want on the RCS, so I've had to improve with an EPS flow regulator. Wasting a position, but hey, I have some additional weapon power. Who cares? I could have done it the other way around, it'd been far more useful, but oh well. Certainly that power transfer rate will come in handy. And engineers, tanks in specific. Well, plus 17.1 to Starship engineering readiness will certainly come in handy. No need to get your battlifts at the ready when your shields are still up and you are destroying your foe. Disable their ship, then sharpen your battlifts and beam over to them. Don't let them beam aboard you. That being said, this ship's consoles, passive abilities, albeit extremely strong, are greatly boosted, not appreciated, what am I saying, you idiot? Greatly boosted by its active ability, the Refracting Energy Shunt, refracting proton damage and power drain, with 135 targeting arc to the targets and foes within 4 kilometers, 7,186.4 proton damage, and minus 23.7 to all power levels for 10 seconds. This is substantially useful. Supports will be making good use of that power drain, and DPS and tanks, you'll be making good use of the damage and threat generation that will come from the damage. A handy console, and again, one that I must score as an 8 out of 10. It works very well for this ship. Certainly I support it in action, and would love to see it in use. Overall, we can find that this ship is extremely powerful and flexible among uses. As a support vessel or science vessel, I would overall score her, as she's average, I will score her a 6 out of 10. Albeit, if you know what you're doing, you could easily make her an powerful science ship. For tanks, well, you have the potential of 6 engineering consoles, her magnificent array of engineering and miracle worker positions, science to augment this, and a universal position as well. I will score her magnificently as a 10 out of 10 tank, with her only weakness being her slightly weaker hull. She is a battle cruiser. I will not allow her hull. Well, I will not hold her hull against her. She gets 10 out of 10. I'm feeling generous. As a DPS vessel, I will score her well as well. Again, she can have 4 tactical consoles and a math of DPS potential using Miracle Worker and tactical positions. Well, that, and she makes for quite good part gen or cannon vessel. Yes, I shall score her 9 out of 10. She has only one weak area, her science. And of course, knowing what you're doing, you can make her stronger. Okay. Enough has been said. I know what you want to see. Head to the transporter rooms and beam up to the Nost Fun. We shall take her out as soon as you are all ready. Prepare to engage. So yes, it is worth stating now that it's actually 90 seconds you get from the cylindrical quantum slipstream drive with a warp factor of 35.2. You're aware that warp 10 is transwarp. A turn rate of 1.5. Not bad. Now, we have found our potential targets. A group of Klingon rebels are here. Let's see how well they stand up against this new ship, shall we? Hopefully this will be a magnificent show of her potential. We seem to be alone. Excellent. It is just what we were after. Systems balanced. We'll move in on these bird of prey. Bird of preys. Yeah. And test this new combat potential. It's doing some effective damage. How dare you, Cloak? Allow us to destroy your ally here. We'll do it with ease. Ha! You decloaked at the wrong time.
More shields failing.
Now allow us to demonstrate the power of our battle cloak. We'll bring it round tough. Look at you. So vulnerable to us. Prepared to be destroyed. And it took nothing to do it. But these are merely birds of prey. It's not like they ever had a chance to begin with. Another bird of prey attacks us from behind. Whoops. Excellent work. Perhaps a new, tougher ship shall show its face soon. I can only hope. A raptor! You won't stand much chance. As you can hear, the shields are buckled, allowing for some minor hull damage. But we can get ourselves back online well enough. I am taking no miracle worker advantages here. Someone truly wishes to show combat potential. Well, come on then. Let's see how well you stand against repulsor and tractor beams. These combined systems will tear your ship apart. Your allies? Well, destroyed. This endurance-based build that I've sort of gone with isn't overly endurance-based. It's actually kind of a balance between DPS and regenerator. Will come in handy for making sure she doesn't go down. I do believe this ship runs best as a regenerative DPS ship. With the right console increasing tactical and engineering readiness, making full use of the miracle worker stations, you will suffer with your scientific prowess, but as a regenerative DPS ship, well, it's safe to say that you will hang in the fight longer and still be able to deal the same amount of damage as a normal DPS vessel can deal. Well,
We must retreat for now, but we shall return.
cowards! As you can see, this ship is too much for even Klingon rebels. Ha! How pathetic. I did not expect him to go down so easily, though I must say I am happy to see that this ship has proven its worth in battle. From a personal standpoint, I will definitely say that this ship gets my vote. I'm going to score her battle, well, her abilities in this fight. I think I will score her an 8 out of 10. She's impressed me enough. Time to return. We'll take a quick look at the customizations of this ship and then the final score. Besides, I'm sure you will want to get back to your ships. Or perhaps you want to have put in for your own. To be honest, I would not blame you either way. This ship is a beauty, even in flight. And, as you can see, she has potential. Plenty of uses available to her. Though I have only shown one of her functional uses. So, as you can see, this ship has her own quite, I want to say quite marvelous aesthetic. The redding of the hull is not part of the hull's actual design, but more its paint scheme, allowing you to have a little bit of fun. Let's put the blue on there somewhere. Her paint is interesting. If we go Andromeda, you can see how the paint actually looks on this ship. As you can see, you can give her quite the aesthetic glimmer if you wanted to. With the right paints, you can make her look extremely dangerous. I think I've just found my favourite. Hang on, no. I lie, that's not my favourite. Hang on. There we go. There's more mine. What? I wear blue. Well, my KDF does. It's a nice looking ship. She also has, to go along with this, grey hull, which I do like and do find quite refined. The grey and gold of that hull is very nice. But you could throw on the veteran hull and give her a very, very lovely golden green aesthetic. Throw up the upgrade and it's a deeper green / gold. And the redding is very nice on the ship at this point. Everyone knows the Type 4 by now. Probably most captains' favourite. Certainly it's one of mine. This beautiful black armoured hull introduced to us with our Qugh class. It's a good hull. So if you don't like the classic, you can go for the most modern. And then some of the more old school hulls are available as well. 7 hull types in total. Can't complain, not personally. Too bad there is no hull variations. We went purely for classic with this ship. No modern design. Sometimes the Federation get the best toys, don't they? But can you really complain? This is a good ship and fierce looking. Unfortunately, no bridge available to this ship. So what you get is the looks, and that's it. What a letdown. The design is great, but the lack of customization options. Well, I won't even score it due to the lack of customization options. The paint is good, you get a good look with it. My personal choice, well, you could see it. So what do you think? What's your viewpoint on this ship? What do you like about it? I'm interested in hearing your opinions. My final score of her, well, I'm afraid I'm going to be a little bit harsh. My final score, due to the lack of customization, is down from where I was originally sort of posting her at. But she is a good tank and DPS vessel, and she has some flexibility, albeit within science roles you do need to know what you're doing. I will score her 8.5 out of 10. Yes, I'm playing a little bit nicer. I am using a 0.5 because it is a bit unfair of me scoring her down on the lack of customizations. She is a good looking ship. What do you think? Do you like her? I hope this has been informative and that you have found the knowledge that you were seeking. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, then I hope you will subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date on all future content. Also, if you wish to support what I do, then perhaps consider joining the Patreon crew. Be a member of our house and bring glory to Shadowstar. Your assistance is greatly appreciated, and thank you for watching to the end. Until next time, live long. No, that's wrong. We aren't Vulcan here. Plot. Helm, take us out. I seek more battle.